Welcome back to the Zeteran Legion, friends. We've got some interesting stuff going on here, not least of which is the fact that we are bordering a minor empire here, a minor nation of sorts, and we definitely want to try and take them over as quickly as possible. The thing I want to make sure, though, is that we've got a structured economy, and it's pretty hard to do that in this game, but one thing that you want to try to do is actually start to build a workshop over your existing city. So if I take a look here at my assets, it looks like an agrodome is being built. I'm going to have to wait a bit for the workshop. Now what I could do is I could try to nationalize for 500 credits this scavenging post, pretty much take it over and put it entirely under government control, and we could really use the metal it has to offer. The issue is we don't have enough money for that. So immediately I'm going to go over here and see if we can raise some money. If we can't do it now, then we'll just wait a few turns and do it then. I might also want to go ahead and use the paranoia trick here. It's a fate stratagem. It's going to increase our fear points, but it also is going to increase our fate points, which we need to do a number of different things. So I've been slinging insults and insulting, and attacking various generals, etc. I hope it's not going to affect us. In fact, we'll take a look here at the actual, not the stats, the reputation, and we still are respected here. So let's hope we can keep things that way. Now, as for the enemy here, I'm waiting until next turn to determine whether or not I'm going to attack them now or wait for additional forces. If we go over here, this is a pretty cool way to build units. When we go into raised formation, we can select independent. And as you can see here, we can actually create independent units. So I'm actually going to create an independent motorized battalion here. And we're going to have some additional units that we can send over here to the fight. So I think if we're going to attack these guys, we definitely want to make it happen fast. And they are confirmed raiders, the Grencons here. So I'm not exactly too upset about attacking them. Let's go ahead and see if we could raise maybe one more formation. No, that's going to be it. Unfortunately, we just get the motorized. Hopefully that's going to be sufficient. And just in case, we've got this nice little Doom Cannon. Let's end the turn. And I'm not going to make you guys wait for the in-between turn phase, so I'll just skip that. Okay, our scav team's actually found a sealed silo with intact Galactic Republic equipment near Zormul. So this is pretty cool. It lets us get actually reserve recruit units, and we are, of course, expanding. As you can see, we've got a low treasury level. We've got to try to get the money flowing again, but we are currently building an actual agro farm, and that alone costs us some money. Look at that, guys. So now we've got these beautiful units right here, and you bet we're going to go straight to war with these people, take them over, and show them the will of the Zeteran Legion. This is a rough and violent planet, and if we don't take it over quickly, then we're going to have to deal with the repercussions. So I'm going to go ahead and attack here. We are going to invade Lozarillo. Yes, sorry, Lozarillo, we've got to go ahead and attack you. And somebody mentioned to save the actual nuke here. I'm calling it a nuke. It's actually just a hell rocket of some sort. So I'm going to save that for a potential future attack and just see how we do against the defenders here. So we are trying to take the city here from Lozarillo, and I think we're actually doing a very good job there. The Grencon rifle battalions, etc. Who cares? They're raiders as far as I'm concerned, even if they're not necessarily raiders. Push forward. It looks like we can get a second attack there with our mech, which I wasn't aware of, and I think I'm going to take that opportunity. So let's try to chase them down. We don't want guys coming back to fight us later, and with 63 to 1 odds, I think we're going to absolutely wipe them out.
Objective lost.
What? Wow, they actually held. So, lesson learned, we don't want to attack a location multiple times at once. We want to give our guys some time to actually, regather their strength. But we have taken the city of Grencon. So now we're just fighting off these Grencon rifle battalions, etc. And let's see if we can also go ahead and raise another formation. I don't think we've got enough money for it right now. We are dealing with some income issues. We do have some militia there to the north. We'll bring them in. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually increase the income tax. Now, obviously, this doesn't make anybody happy, and it looks like we failed on the paperwork there. Let's recruit a junior officer so we can use him in one of our current sort of either armies or maybe just in one of our organizations, our councils. Now, the Eternity Guru can also be added to one of our units, so I'm going to go ahead and give it to the Odessa Guards.
Wilco.
It's just going to make them a little tougher. Unfortunately, nothing that can really bring the economy back significantly. So we're just going to have to wait until we build things. A lot of the time, I notice, in Shadow Empire, you're waiting for these things to, of course, be built. The assets to, of course, stop building. Now it looks like we've got the Agrodome at Kevuhome, and you can see here it's going to take us 2 turns, and it's costing us a certain amount of workers, metal, industry points every turn. So that's sort of the negative aspect of building things in the game. It's good to see that we are entering a time of calm here, and that makes me quite happy. A new, really like that little animation there. It's a bit cheesy, but we, of course, gain Grencon, and that adds us a fate point. So we get a fate point because of it, and we can even celebrate with some feasts. One thing I know for sure is I want to get that docile AI. I'm going to have to use our cash to purchase some food, because until we get that agri farm, we do have some food issues. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the decisions. We've got food theft in Grencon, and this we can't accept. We just can't. We've got to send in the troops to punish these thieves.
Yes, sir.
It's just we're dealing with so many problems right now. Now this is an issue. Our troops failed in containing the thieves. Plus 40 to unrest. We lost 200 troops and 700 thieves were killed. 137 credits were stolen from our economy.
Wilco.
Really not good. Things in Grencon are pretty bad. People are, of course, kind of starting to panic. We're also going to upgrade our city Odessa to a big town. But obviously this area we just took, I'm not surprised that people are out trying to grab food since we just took away their government. But it's unacceptable. We can't let that happen, otherwise they're going to walk all over us. So let's take our actual AI units here, and we can actually pop Docile AI, which is a pretty great unit here. It's essentially an AI combat unit. We can also go ahead and use feasts, and maybe we can execute this stratagem on Grencon. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to improve just the happiness of the population. We, after all, did just take their city from them, so they're right to be somewhat upset here. And we're going to just keep pushing eastwards, guys. Keep expanding this territory and seeing what we have here. Now, so far, we haven't found any xenomorph species on this planet. That's one of the most dangerous things about a Medusa-class planet, is the actual xenomorph species can be so deadly they can wipe out entire armies sometimes. Now, the good news is, look at this. We've got an underground media tech. And if we look at this, it lets us know that a sizable group of educated men has retreated in the monastery to contemplate existential questions. They, however, are willing to help you out with paperwork and research projects. So blueprints plus 25. This is pretty great. So it's got to be connected to the zone city, and that means that we have to get a road out there as soon as we can. It looks like there's something also over here, a waterfall turbine. This is a really great source of energy for our people to get electricity, etc. So I am going to go ahead and build a road this way. To do that, we're going to need industrial points. But let's just go ahead and start constructing the beginning of that road, at least. Let's do something like this. I don't think we'll be able to build the whole thing. Yeah, we can just build part of it. But in time, we want to, of course, carry it out to the underground media tech and to the deep foam station. Let's keep on seeing what's out here. What do they have? Such a strange sort of alien landscape, quite literally here. And of course, if we zoom out, we can see all of the territory we just took from that minor empire. So one thing we might want to do is actually look at the map and see who else is surrounding us. Looks like these are all non-aligned forces, but to the southeast, we've got Elisador, and to the, both to the southeast, really. We've got the Rickerstop Empire. And so I'm thinking that we should start heading southeast, or we can, of course, keep taking these non-aligned areas. The Royal Retreat, for instance, is going to really assist in, well, keeping our politicians happy, I believe. We'll have to take a look there at the asset itself. But to get to it, we once again have to connect it to the zone city. So political points +1. This is definitely something we want to connect to. But we're just waiting for those industry points to pop. So let's see. Let's get this militia down here. Kind of want to add them to the army anyway. And we should perhaps start heading over here to deal with that large empire, or not a large empire, but the minor empire. Or alternatively, we can just continue on trying to explore the land around us. I said I wouldn't force you guys to sit through that end turn thing, but I'll make you guys sit through it once. I do take it out of most of the episodes I'm doing now. I just think that there's a lot of interesting approaches here, and I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments. Because what I'm thinking is I'm going to split up 2 armies here, send one to the northeast, send the other to the southeast, sort of inspect, see what's going on, but just try and, of course, increase our infrastructure overall. And we can really do that, of course, by completing our current construction projects, number 1, and building roads wherever we need them to be built. So far, it looks like we've got a pretty nice landmass here. Decent starting location, but I can already see some movement there. I'm actually glad we kept this on, and that's definitely that minor empire moving around near the Dorar Woods. Those are huge woods. We're talking about like the Brazil rainforest level in terms of size here for these forests. And that's just that one area, so quite a large landmass, of course. Now, what is that? We're going to have to take a look once we get back in. Okay, we discovered some fuel deposits in Grencon. That's always great. We also gained 700 political points because of the relative calm. In 6 turns, that's going to change, though. And in fact, over time, your generals can grow to resent you, even. And things will not be so calm if that occurs. Scouts found a sealed silo near Cuiavol in the zone Grencon. 19 machinery has been secured. So usually we need to purchase machinery or construct it. The fact that we got machinery, or we found it, is very useful, of course. And he's discussing metal production. We do want to get to the metal production here, but I'm just not sure we can afford it right now. Let's take a look here at industry. So we can actually start industry 1. Now, this is good for, not necessarily for metal production, but it gets industrial points for us, and we do need industrial points, but what we would need for metal production is actually some sort of mine, and we need to build the road to the source of metal. So like right here, for instance, this should be something that we can turn in to a metal plant. I'm going to take a look there and see why we're unable to do that. It could just be that we're missing some of the ingredients here to do that. Now, the wind traps also add energy, so these are going to be very useful too. Let's get some wind traps. Why not? Look at that. So this is going to definitely be useful. It's only 100 workers in terms of upkeep. It's not as expensive as a lot of the stuff out here, but it looks like we don't have enough IP to currently construct a road there. That's our issue, is just the lack of IP. We've got to get some more of those industrial points to start connecting our empire. Head this way. Like that motorbike can go so far. We can really just inspect the area around us here. And that's Quayton. That's the area that he was discussing where they found some resources. So maybe we'll find other stuff near here. But once again, we're just trying to expand our territory, expand our knowledge of the surrounding area as well. That's really important in this game, just to get to know your surroundings. Orders for Grencon. So we had some issues at Grencon before, and I think one way to really improve, just in general, the relations with the people is to first of all create an actual public budget. Now, we're not going to spend much on it. What we're really going to do here is give them a worker salary of 1 credit. Now, considering we conquered them, we could give them nothing and just have them be slaves. So I actually think this is pretty fair, in all honesty. Very nimble fingers in 1st Odessa Armored Battalion. There's this one soldier in the 1st Odessa Armored Battalion that is extremely agile and nimble. Let's make him an elite sniper. I think that the Zeteran Legion is in need of some good old snipers, so we're going to boost him up. And so far, we might even be able to take this militia unit as well. I'll have to do it next turn and go ahead and move him with the rest. As for our Doom Cannon, I'm pretty much just leaving him here, and we are just inspecting the area around us. Let's see who we run into, or more precisely, what we run. Headed in the right direction with the discovery of a hospital here. We also want to likely meet the CEO here, because the CEO, what he does, if you guys are looking at these bronze-colored buildings, these are owned by a certain corporation. They're not owned by the state or anything like that. They do give us a little bit of their income. Over here, it looks like they're giving us 122, but that's about it. Over here, the metal factory is giving us 25 of the metal, but we could, of course, entirely take this over and make it part of our empire, or we can alternatively work with the corporation. I'm not sure. One interesting thing, though, guys, is that look what we found up here. Another city. This one is called Grenaa, and I am going to immediately start moving up there. As you can see, I am getting pretty itchy trigger finger here playing as the Zeteran Legion. I don't know if these guys are evil or if it's just me, but I am definitely getting an itchy trigger finger. Now we've got these guys, the GR grade infantry. We've got these laser cannons, which are very, very powerful in combat, and it looks like we've seemingly just been gifted those. We get those as a result of an event. So I'm quite happy. Now, one thing I'd like are some additional industrial points. Again, I want to connect these areas. And in fact, I'm going to try to do that right now. Let's see. Let's try and build a road. Keep going to the wrong tab. Shame on me. Still a noob. I'm still a noob. But I like to think I'm pretty good for a noob. So here we go. Beautiful. So we've gotten to the underground media tech. We can get to the deep foam next turn, and that's just useful. Of course, this goes to the nearest city, so it's going to give a boost to Grencon. And I believe if we select Grencon, there we go. We actually can see the monastery. Spell check, guys. Spell check, Slytherin. I love you guys, but spell check that. Yeah, looking interesting. Nonetheless, guys, I think we're going to stop here. If you guys want to see the next episode, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. And once again, I will just try to get as close as I can to this city without starting a war outright. I'll let you guys take a look at it. How about that? So there's definitely somebody there. I can see a flag. So this is a minor empire, Iron State. I've got to take a look and see if that's a major or a minor. No matter what it is, it's going to die. It's that simple. We're going to attack. We're not afraid here. Although, I do want to have a plan, and we're already starting to see some of their troops here. Who knows? Maybe they're going to be a little more aggressive than we expect. We had a pretty passive deal with the Grenconians, but these guys may actually be up for a fight. I know I should be using the roads here, but I'm also trying to take these hexes as well. Let's just attack them and see what happens, although I'll give you guys the ultimate decision down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.